had gone on this way, gradually worsening, she did not know. During that period, there had seemed to be her disordered spirit always to have been this way, yet she knew there had been a time when she had been quite well, happy even, though that seemed sometimes to have been another person entirely. A person she could not find and could never be again. So in desperation, she had kept on with her daily routine, seeing no sense in it, but feeling that somehow it kept her safe from falling apart. That was when she had come across the Master. She had been passing by as he was preaching, hearing his voice as a background for her thoughts, and suddenly she had come to a dead halt, turned toward him, and listened with all her being. His words had cut through the thick fog she had been living in, and she saw the sun, the sky, the people, smelled the grass everyone was trampling as real again. She felt alive. Then suddenly, an excruciating pain that threatened to tear her body apart, waves of terror and hopelessness swept over her, and she felt the sunlight fading, the sights and odors, sounds and feelings dimming out, though she was not faint. She had felt then as though she would die, and had known with certainty that there was not one single thing she could do about it. Yet with dim surprise, she had found herself pressing steadily forward toward the center of the crowd to where he was. She had not really thought he could do anything for her, did not think anyone could, but her feet had stubbornly carried her forward anyway. Eventually, she reached him, stood before him, her gaze devouring him, pain and nameless, helpless longing flooding out of her like a fountain. She had said nothing. There was nothing to say. Suddenly, he looked directly at her, then into her eyes, then straight into the depths of her being, and the world around them vanished. She had held her breath, her life in her eyes, her need crying out through her silence, and waited. Still holding her gaze in his, he had spoken 7 times, not to her, but to each of the forces that held her captive. The dark powers that had refused to let her live for so long, he spoke with such authority that each of the 7 was torn out by the roots, dismissed forever, and she was whole herself again.